Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Murli from Teaching for Good, and welcome back to the 100 Days of Full Stack App Challenge. If you are just getting started, please make sure to watch the introductory video and review the welcome page. And when you get a chance, please review the first week's sprint plan as well that lays out the plan for the entire week. And if you haven't done already, please visit the GitHub repository and go to the discussions forum and introduce yourself. Please share a little bit of background, where you are on the full stack journey, and very important, if you would like to share what problem you would like to solve as part of this challenge, that will be really great. And today is day 3 of the challenge, and we are in the first weekly sprint in the challenge. If we haven't finished day 1 or day 2 activities yet, please go ahead and get started. Each day builds on those earlier steps and earlier days, so please do not skip any of those earlier sections. Take your time, pace yourself, and finish activities and come back to day 3. Even though I do mention as day 1, day 2, day 3, please pace yourself. If you have bandwidth, you can get much faster. Sorry, you can get done any of these activities much faster, and you can do probably day 1, day 2 on the same day. Or if you're busy and you do not have enough bandwidth on a given day, you may take a couple of days to finish the activities which are slated as day 1 or day 2, for instance. So do not worry about those semantics. Start and get going at your own pace. And if you have already finished day 1 and day 2 activities and ready to jumpstart day 3, great job. Let's go ahead and review day 3 of the challenge. Today, we will try to define the minimum viable product for the product or solution that we would like to build as part of this challenge. When we talk about the minimum viable product, as we discussed in the day 1 discovery and day 2 exploration, we are focusing on one specific key use case that we would like to solve for one key user or one primary user. Don't sweat all the details yet. Just focus on one core theme to get started. What is that one core feature that we could build to validate our idea that this is a problem worth solving? There are real users that could benefit from it. If this is an idea, this is a problem that you are solving for yourself, this is again still a validation for yourself to see whether what you are going to build is going to solve the problem that you would like to solve. So again, don't sweat all the details yet. Just focus on one core feature that we could build to validate your idea to get moving. And once you identify that one core feature that will help that primary user, let us go ahead and prepare a really rough sketch of the core feature. If you're not a designer, don't worry about it. We don't have to be a designer to come up with that initial rough sketch. And you don't need sophisticated design tools either to create these mockups. Just sketching on a whiteboard if you have one, or even just drawing it on a paper is good enough. We have seen enough applications in our experience, and as part of our exploratory phase yesterday, we looked at some possible solutions that are in the marketplace that are at least close to what you are trying to solve or solving a similar challenge or similar problem. So you have some good understanding on how everybody else is approaching. It's perfectly fine to get that inspiration from those screens and those designs and start your rough, very broad stroke markup. And again, please do not create a markup of every single screen that you could think of with all kinds of details. We are only focusing on a very, very high level markup in really broad strokes of just one or two, the most important screens that would help you to build this specific core feature. Again, really rough sketch, don't sweat out for all the details. And please make sure this is the right time to give your product or service a name. This could be a code name for the next few weeks until we figure out a good, catchy app name for your product or service that is easy to share with the rest of the world. At this moment, just give your product or service a name that you could use to talk to users in the next couple of days. So as long as just keep it simple. This may not be the name that you will keep for your final product. So again, don't sweat out too many details. There is no reason to spend too much time. Just come up with a simple name for your product or service, because the next step is to take these rough sketches that you prepared and run it by those primary potential users. At least a couple of potential users who are your primary users, run this sketch by them. If you do not have somebody to talk to in person, go ahead and share your sketches on wherever you could share, by email, the social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you have some community around. Please go ahead and share these sketches and try to get some feedback and see whether it resonates and see whether it actually solves a problem that they think about in that angle, and get any kind of feedback. Any kind of feedback is good. Then you can take that feedback and try to make changes as you see fit. Again, don't sweat out for all the details yet. Just focus on the core and quickly iterate if something really, really important aspect that you missed, or the feedback that you received is very important to consider as part of your MVP. Please go ahead and quickly iterate on the sketch based on that feedback. And it is perfectly fine to take it back and again show it to your friends or the potential users and get that feedback to see whether it is now in line. And it is perfectly fine to have some unfinished business here. Our focus is not to build that final product today. This is the first step in identifying what will that MVP look like. So focus is on blunt and broad strokes, and the very high level focusing on that sketch. So that is for day 3, where we are trying to define that MVP, one core feature that we could build to validate the idea, build a really broad stroke rough sketch for the core feature, give your product a name, run this sketch. This is the most important part. Run the sketch by a few potential users. And if anything stands out from the feedback that we received, quickly iterate on the sketch based on the feedback. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next video for day 3, where we will be talking about the same exact MVP aspect, but in the context of the case study. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.